We're here at Abu Dhabi Finance Week with Charles Cascarilla, the CEO of Paxos. Charles, great to have you with us today at the event.
Great to be here.
Charles, I want to talk to you about a lot of things, especially stablecoins. Obviously, recently you guys issued a yield-bearing stablecoin. What do you think is the potential of yield-bearing stablecoins within the global crypto ecosystem?
Yeah, we're really excited. We launched a product called USDL, the Lift Dollar, and it's right here out of the Abu Dhabi Global Markets, and is regulated by the FSRA. This is a great regulator here, and the product is very innovative. I think the cool thing about stablecoins is they democratize access to the dollar, and what the USDL is doing is democratizing access to the risk-free rate. So it's a stable coin that moves like a normal stable coin, but it pays interest at the rate of a T-bill. And this is a really powerful mechanism so that you can have the risk-free rate available on-chain to anybody anywhere in the world. And I think you're right, the USDL product is ideal for collateral, because you have collateral today sitting in stable coins, on exchanges, other places, not generating any return. That's a high cost of capital. And if instead you start to be able to earn 4.5%, that's a game changer for otherwise idle collateral that needs a higher return.
But what do you think will be the catalyst for it to be used more as collateral, as you mentioned? Is it demand from clients? Is it the exchanges becoming more welcoming? Or is it just a natural evolution of the ecosystem where we'll see these yield-bearing stablecoins being used as collateral more often?
Well, I think it's a little bit of all of those things. You really have a network effect that needs to come into place where you need to build momentum and users and utility and liquidity. And that's never one thing because it's an ecosystem. And so you have to have multiple things that come together, and we're in the process of doing this. We have 6 regulated stablecoins that we've launched over the history of Paxos, and that's very unique. So we know how to launch stablecoins and build them, but it's not something that happens overnight. I think that's maybe the fallacy when people think you launch something and they'll come. And no matter how great your product is, the launch date is simply the starting line, even though sometimes it feels like the finish line.
Well, talking about starting line, there's been a lot of recent initiatives on AED stablecoin with the dirham here in the United Arab Emirates. What's your view on the role and the place that an AED stablecoin can play in the global crypto ecosystem, especially in a market where 99% of stablecoins are US dollar backed?
Yeah, look, I think almost every asset is going to end up on-chain moving around, but that's not the same thing as there will be today. And so there's always an adoption curve, and it always doesn't move linearly. Almost rarely does it move linearly. And so the dollar is what has really become, I think, the breakout product on-chain for real-world assets. But I think all fiats are going to be on. It just has to happen because it's a better rail. It doesn't have to be blockchain. It's just the idea that money can move instantaneously, in real time, 24/7, moving at a very low cost, that's programmable, it's available to everyone. That's what a blockchain-based financial system is about, and that's why you need to have fiat currencies on there. And so I know the UAE has been very innovative in thinking about how to get an AED stablecoin in place, and we've actually looked at a number of projects and partners that we could help that with. But you've got to experiment. It doesn't mean it's always going to work the first time. We got to get out there, and that's what I really applaud about the ADGM, the UAE in general, is they're really thinking about how can we experiment, how can we be the center of innovation, how can we grow, and I think that ultimately means that when you have a breakout product, this is one of the locations it's going to come from.
So talking about locations, you're based in the US, and there's obviously a lot of activity now. Hope, let's say, with Trump coming in and the policies can come up on stablecoins. What's your view on the changes we may see when it comes to stablecoins specifically with the new administration in the White House?
Well, I think the past administration obviously was a tough place for crypto. And so it's exciting to have an administration that is explicitly pro-crypto and pro-blockchain. I think that stablecoins are a very logical thing for administration to get behind because it improves the distribution of the dollar. And the dollar is a product that everybody in the world wants, but you can't get it. And the last thing you want to do is be tied to old distribution mechanisms. We live in an internet age, you need to have internet dollars. And if you make the dollar available in the right way, it democratizes access for everybody around the world. And while central banks are selling dollars today and they're buying gold or they're buying other assets, everybody, all retail people want dollars, and stablecoins allow you to be able to go direct to the end user in a very powerful way. That is good for the dollar, that is good for the US ability to be able to sell the dollar, which is ultimately just T-bills. And I really think that this administration embracing the concept of blockchain and stablecoins is going to be good for Paxos, but it's really good for the United States.
My last question, we're heading into 2025. What's your view? What's exciting you about 2025 when it comes to the beautiful and fast-moving world of crypto?
Well, look, I am so excited because we think really this is the crypto golden age that's about to unfold here. We shouldn't overdo it. It's kind of easy to do, but this is going to be a really fun time. It's the opportunity to embrace this innovation. It's gone from something that was considered a bit of a sideshow or a cul-de-sac to now being something that's going to be mainstream and change people's lives every day. And I think that breakthrough element is not just Bitcoin, which kind of had its IPO last year with the ETF, but really it's also going to be around stablecoins, which is going to completely transform the financial system, going to transform how payments work. Imagine having an always-on dollar. Lots of other currencies are always on, but the dollar isn't, and the dollar is used everywhere. And so the possible innovation that can happen here, the way you can create new types of banking products and services, the way you can really reach people that have never been reached anywhere in the world, I mean, that is really exciting. We're launching products to make it happen. I know that this is going to be something that's a whole industry-driven thing, and we're really proud to be part of it.
Exciting to look at that for 2025. That was Charles Cascarilla, the CEO of Paxos here at Abu Dhabi Finance Week.
Are your children prepared for the future of money? Order Decoding Crypto with Henri and Hodler, the #1 new release kids book on Amazon.